are you doing today? I'm doing fine. I'm a little bit tired. I went swimming yesterday and I hit a personal record at the Lompoc Aquatic Center, and I'm a little bit fatigued the day after, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit if I seem a little tired. So today is Sunday, and what is it, like the 6th of June or the 7th of June? Let's see, oh, I think I've got my cell phone in here, I can see what day it is. Okay, it's the 5th of June. Anyway, um, which is a Sunday, and today I went to go to the Unitarian Universalist church meeting in Lompoc. They have a meeting the first Sunday of every month at 11 o'clock a.m. And I went today, and today they had a speaker. Her name is Mary Harvey. And I've known Mary Harvey for a number of years. You may not be that familiar with her, but Mary Harvey is a Buddhist, and she runs a small business down in Lompoc. It's the White Lotus Yoga Center. And every Thursday night at around 6 o'clock p.m., she brings in people and they practice meditation. So it's a big group that comes in, and I've attended that group a couple times. You know, I've had a passing interest in Buddhism here and there over the years, and I've heard Mary Harvey speak on many occasions, and she's a very gifted speaker, and she's been doing it for many years, and you know, we practice meditation together. Sometimes it's guided meditation, sometimes it's other types of meditation, like mindful meditation, and sometimes she talks a little bit about you know, Buddhism, and she relates principles about her religion. And anyway, she gave us a little talk today, and in fact that explains why I'm wearing a tie. Not the talk necessarily, but I did go to the Unitarian Church, and you know, Mary Harvey was there and she gave a little speech. Of course, I don't know how much you know about Buddhism, but they talk a lot about achieving happiness and dealing with the problem of suffering. One distinction that she made during her talk, which I really liked, was that she talked about where happiness originates, where it comes from. And she said that happiness comes from your mind. And then she asked, well, where else could it come from? Which was, I guess, a nice rhetorical question, I suppose. So happiness comes from the mind, and she made an interesting distinction about the mind and the body. She said that the body was very much where pain and pleasure happens. You know, that the body is the place where physical sensation happens. And the mind, contrasted with that, well, the mind is a place where happiness and suffering happen. Now, happiness and suffering are the results of the thoughts that you have. Suffering, and I prefer not to call it suffering. I tend to call it emotional pain. And emotional pain comes from interpretations you have about your external world, or maybe even your internal world. Emotional pain comes from your psychological needs not being met. Whereas happiness, well, they come from, also, happiness comes from the interpretations you have about your external world. And happiness also comes from, well, your needs, your psychological needs being met. Anyway, I like that distinction. So, you know, a lot of the time what happens is that, you know, why are we unhappy at times? Why do we experience emotional pain? Well, a lot of the times we blame our external life situation. Say we get a flat tire, right? Or traffic is bad. Or maybe we get sick. Or maybe someone we love dies. So, you know, a lot of that, a lot of these external situations are what we blame for our being unhappy. And let's take a flat tire, for example. Let's say you had 100 people in the exact same situation, and that is, they get a flat tire. Now, I would guess that there would be some kind of Gaussian distribution, or a distribution where some people would be very upset about getting a flat tire, and other people, by contrast, would be less upset. In fact, there might even be some who are not as upset at all by getting a flat tire. They just go through their day, and getting a flat tire doesn't necessarily disturb them. So if you were going to choose out of these 100 people what kind of response you would like to have to having a flat tire, ideally you would probably want to feel relatively neutral about having a flat tire. Or maybe, I'm sure there are at least a very small subset who feel an experience of gratitude from having a flat tire. I know it sounds really odd, but maybe maybe having a flat tire gives someone a break from a very hectic day. Or maybe having a flat tire helps someone get a physical workout in their day. Maybe they weren't able, because they were busy, weren't able to go to the gym to work out. Well, now they get to change a flat tire, which is an activity that could help to build their muscles. So there's a lot of ways to interpret these external life situations that happen. And what you want to guard against are experiences with external life situations where I'm sure there are also a few who are really, really upset from having a flat tire, and then they go into this road rage, right? And then they start being really upset, and it ruins their whole day. That's definitely something you'd like to steer clear of. So a lot of it comes down, a lot of peace of mind and happiness comes down to how you interpret your external life situations. So really the point of all this, here's the goal. The goal is transforming adverse life situations into happiness or peace of mind. Let's just call it peace of mind. So how can we transform these adverse life situations that happen to us into peace of mind, a result where we feel content in the world and that we're okay? Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. A lot of tools that have been developed over the years. Some tools are better than others. I was talking earlier about how interpretations go a long way toward how you feel towards certain, what emotions you feel towards certain life situations. So, one thing you might want to do is try to refrain from using negative judgments about the things that happen to you, maybe the things that people do to you, or the things that happen, or the things that get thrown your way in life. Another thing you could do is you could use perspective. Maybe people get sick. All people get sick, and eventually there'll be a time, a couple days later, when you're not sick anymore. So if you're able to sort of go from the minuscule perspective of me being sick right now and feeling miserable and then going up another level, saying, everybody gets sick and eventually I'll be healthy again. Maybe that will help you, help give you a little more peace of mind. Other things that you can do to bring peace of mind is to protect against sloppy thinking. There are a lot of sloppy thinking techniques out there that get people in trouble. For example, they overgeneralize, right? They say, well, all women are this, or all men are that, or every time this happens. These kind of generalizations have the effect predominantly of making you feel bad. They're also not accurate. Most of the time, they're inaccurate. So the key is to stop making these overgeneralizations and really just speak to the facts. Speak specifically about the world around you. Other things are black and white thinking. Like, for example, I like chocolate ice cream, and I hate vanilla ice cream. So that also can get people in trouble. Like, if only chocolate ice cream is around and you only like vanilla, well, that's a big problem, right? So you got to steer clear from this black and white thinking. The alternative thought is, I don't necessarily prefer chocolate ice cream, but I can enjoy it because I know it's cold and it's sweet and it's tasty, and I like the environment in which I'm served the ice cream. And if there are some things that you can enjoy about the things about ice cream that you didn't particularly think you'd enjoy before, if you could pick those things out and emphasize those, maybe you wouldn't feel so bad about whatever flavor of ice cream you've got. Like, a lot of people don't like pistachio ice cream, right? Well, there are ways to get around not liking pistachio. Maybe you like the smell of pistachio ice cream. And maybe the flavor's not your favorite, but it's not the worst flavor ever, right? So that's black and white thinking. So really, I think what Mary Harvey was trying to get across in her speech today was the idea that really everything is our teacher. Anytime that we're confronted with a life situation that seems to be adverse, that gives us the opportunity to practice virtues. It gives us the opportunity to practice patience. Maybe we can practice honesty, or maybe we can practice appreciation, or generosity, or there are a lot of virtues that we can exercise when confronted with these adverse situations. Also, the virtue of healthy thinking processes. Healthy thinking, like I was mentioning, overgeneralizations. When an adverse situation happens, let's try to refrain from overgeneralizing about that adverse situation. These are all techniques and tricks that we can use to sort of minimize the level of suffering in our world, and sort of maximize the amount of peace of mind that we have. So anyway, I really enjoyed that thing. Now, I was thinking about finishing this video with some dancing, but actually I'm a little tired, so I think I'm going to do something else. I had the idea of doing some Trivial Pursuit. I happen to have this Trivial Pursuit game, Genus 4 I think it is, which is just an iteration of the game. And I was going to give this a try. I mean, people watch Jeopardy on television, and somehow that's interesting, so I think I'm going to do the same. I'm literally going to pick a card from this Trivial Pursuit game at random, and I'm going to read off a few of these questions, and I'll get to show you just how much I don't know, which I think will be instructive in itself. Okay, so here we go. What's the only 100% Christian nation on Earth? That's a really good question. I don't think I know the answer to that. The only 100% Christian nation on Earth. Okay. I think I know what it is. I think it's Vatican City in Italy. Now, this is kind of funny because I don't necessarily think of Vatican City as being a nation, but a lot of people do. But I'm going to say Vatican City in Italy. The answer is Vatican City. I got it right. Great. Woo! That was tough. I was thinking, okay, Brazil, Spain, I was thinking other Catholic countries, maybe Italy, and then I thought, okay, no, it's Vatican City. That's the place where the Pope lives. All right, there's another question. What type of bomb sparked the use of the term thermonuclear war in the Cold War? What type of bomb sparked the use of the term thermonuclear war in the Cold War? Now, if you're not familiar with this, Emily, and you may not be, there was a big geopolitical struggle between nations, between Russia and the United States. It lasted like 70 years, and in fact, it's cooled down. I mean, it's warmed up a little bit between our two nations. But there was a time when when the United States was pretty much enemies with Russia. That's not so much true today, but there was a lot of fear in both nations, and there was the threat of basically mutual destruction, nuclear annihilation of the two nations. We called it the Cold War. Thankfully, nothing happened. You know, no. So anyway, what was the type of bomb that sparked the use of the term thermonuclear war? My answer is the hydrogen bomb. So there's different kinds of nuclear weapons, and there's the fission bomb, and then there's the hydrogen bomb, which is a lot larger, so I'm guessing that's what it is. Yes, the hydrogen bomb is the correct answer. Okay, all right. So we'll go with one more random question. Let's see, here we go. All right, so what three terms are represented in Newton's second law of motion, F equals ma? So what three terms are represented in Newton's second law of motion, F equals ma? Well, you know, I'm a physicist so, and an engineer, so hopefully I know the answer to this question. So F equals ma, that's the equation. Well, I know what those are. Force, F represent the letter F represents force, the letter M represents mass, and the letter A represents acceleration. So I'm pretty sure I got that one right. Here we go. Let's see what it said. Force, mass, and acceleration. All right, there we go. Well, looks like I did not necessarily demonstrate how little I knew. In fact, I did just the opposite. I demonstrated how much I know. Well, sorry. That's what you get. That's what you get. I was hoping to create some kind of lesson. You know, the lesson learned is this. Do a lot of studying and learning in school, just like your dad did, okay? And you can do well on Trivial Pursuit too, all right? So I guess that's the lesson. But yet, I must say that I'm not perfect and all intelligent. That is definitely not the case. I was definitely thinking I would hit a few snags, but I guess I didn't. Anyway, Emily, I just want to say I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and it's really pleasant talking with you today, and I hope you like my tie. I think it looks pretty sharp, and I just want to say that again that I love you, and I think you are amazing, and I'd love to spend time with you. If you want to spend time with me, that would be fantastic. And but in the meantime, I'm content somewhat producing these videos that I hope that you'll be able to enjoy for posterity over the next 1 or 2 millennia, or at least over the course of your lifetime. So anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day, and like I said, I love you, and we'll talk to you next time, which will probably be tomorrow. Bye-bye.